Donald Trump's legal team left the United States Supreme Court without a final decision on his order to end birthright citizenship, but they are still calling this a major win. The conservative majority ruled individual judges do not have the authority to block federal orders or laws across the entire nation. 13's Callie Holthouse shows us how Kansas representatives are responding.
Yeah, Melissa, universal or nationwide injunctions started getting attention for how and how often they were used against President Trump in his first term and again against the Biden administration. Today, the highest court in the country made its opinion clear. Some Kansas lawmakers praised the 6-3 Supreme Court ruling for reining in power from the judiciary.
My hope is that this slows down federal courts that make rulings that impact the entire country.
Republican Senator Roger Marshall said universal injunctions are unfair.
It just seems unfair that a federal court judge from Kansas would impact everybody, or a ruling that would impact everybody across the entire country, and the same thing if someone on the east or west coast to judge, they're impacting us.
Representative Derek Schmidt, also a Republican, criticized such injunctions for overuse. Jeffrey Jackson, dean of the Washburn School of Law, says nationwide injunctions came under the microscope about a decade ago.
This is one of those situations where both parties have been railing about them.
He explains that universal injunctions were the easiest, but not the only way to stop an action in its tracks.
There are a couple of mechanisms by which courts could essentially do the same thing that a universal injunction does.
A class action lawsuit is one option. A member of a class of people files on everyone's behalf. Any kind of relief in the form of an injunction therefore applies to everyone in that class.
Birthright citizenship is like the biggest, best example of that. Before today, it was just way easier to ask for a universal injunction. You know, you didn't have to go through all these cumbersome hoops.
All in all, he says the ruling doesn't make drastic changes one way or the other.
Certainly not the victory for, like, Trump's policies that the people would think. It just makes it harder to fight against them, but not that much harder.
Representative Schmidt urged fellow lawmakers in the upper chamber to pass the No Rogue Rulings bill, which he co-sponsored and helped get through the House earlier this year. He says that would put guardrails in place for the use of this type of injunction.